All right. We have to change the location just a little bit, huh?
Yo,
You know.
I think you got some clips for like a setting up reel.
Right? No, it look like the rain coming, so we don't like get last day. But we have to show you guys it's not all on the same day. You know.
Different day.
Change them up. Change them up.
We're in shower, wash clothes.
Yeah. But well, we're still at the same spot, just a little bit more down. But eventually we're gonna make our way into Kalihi.
Yeah.
But right now, we're working in this area,
It's the
beautiful Blue
Paoa.
Park, right?
The Paoa mixtape.
Yeah, so this is episode 3. It's been cool because we've been getting, you know, every week there's more people messaging and different types of people, right? So I've been getting a lot more asking us when we're gonna talk about hip hop a little bit more. Mox. So
Nice.
this is where it's gonna be Mox heavy
Hip
because
hop.
he's heavier in that, like, you know, I dabble in it, but
You see that?
know.
He's already battling me, bro.
no, hey.
He said he's heavier.
Oh, see, I wasn't even thinking
'Cause
that
I'm
way.
fat.
See, that's why we're not scripted. I tell you
Bruh,
guys all
and
the time.
cameras facing us is different, bro. But the chickens are still here.
The chickens are still here,
We still gonna keep it real.
right? So let's go with your hip hop. Like, you know, we kind of was talking about it a little bit last week, and I kind of left that out because I think it's cool that we can do it now
Yeah.
because, you know, we have a lot of the same ties to hip hop.
Yeah.
You know, not just, you know, mainstream hip hop, our influences, but also like local hip hop, right? Like,
Right.
you know, so
And I
we
think
kinda-
that part a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
How deep hip hop in Hawaii goes.
yeah, you know, like for you, like we always talk about, like you last week you talked about iron sharpening iron, right?
Yeah.
And then the guy that helped sharpen your blade, you know, I have you know, I basically grew up with Chris. I'm just
Yes.
gonna say Chris
Chris works.
Styles. You know, like, so I'll just say Chris because I don't, you know.
It's not used to.
Yeah, I'm not used to it because I've only known him as that.
Chris Styles.
Chris Styles. You know, like I said, I grew up, you know, his grandma and my dad are cousins. They're from the Maui. They grew up on the plantations of Sprecklesville. So
Man.
I grew up going out to Nanakuli, visiting them, and then he would come into town to Kalani Street, and then we'll spend New Year's, even like Christmas party, same parties because same family.
Yeah.
And then later, you know, I met Jonah through, you know, middle school. And then I didn't, you know, we always listened to hip hop.
Yes.
Grew up listening to Bone Thugs and Harmony,
Yes.
Biggie, Tupac.
Yes.
You know, memorizing the verses, you know, memorizing everybody's parts. And then they go, oh, I'm Pac on this song. Okay, I'm busy on this part. Oh, I'm Wish on this
Yo,
part.
you know what? I never forget you making me like go learn was first of the month. The part when it says the months.
Right?
January, February. Like, wait, is he saying all the months?
Yeah.
Wait, no, he's only saying some of the months. Wait,
January, February, March. Oh, man, I can't even do it anymore. I remember.
January, November, whenever the first.
Yeah,
something
it's
like
the first
that.
of the month. Yeah. No, but that's like stuff we used to take pride in, right? Like, oh, we gotta memorize it because, you know, there's our friends on the other side like are memorizing it too, and you wanted to like keep up with them or at least
Oh,
feel like you're cool,
Yo,
you know?
always school was like that. Yeah, making sure you were in the know.
Yeah. If not, you'd be like, you're not listening to that.
Or you just pretend you know until you hear them
pretend.
enough.
Yeah. And then you kind of go, and then you try slide, like you try think you know the line with Bone, and then Jesse Pop will be like, nah, that's not what it is.
Not it.
I was like, what? That's what it sounded like. No, it's not what it is. I'm like, my bad. I'm trying to fake the funk. So you couldn't fake. Where we're from, you cannot fake.
Yes.
People will call you out.
Bruh, that's what the beauty of hip hop. You gotta bring you gotta bring authentic.
Right? So like I wasn't shocked when you went hip hop because, you know, we would randomly try to rhyme all the time.
All the
Like even
time.
if it was songs,
Mhm.
like just singing or writing music, right? So when you ended up, you know, doing battle rapping, I wasn't shocked. I was shocked when
Bruh.
I saw Chris too, and I'm like, what is going on?
And the West Side had its own thing, bro. I
Right?
had no idea. Like Styles was already shooting music videos. He had like songs that he had recorded. Tiki Records was
Oh,
starting
Tiki
out
Records.
then.
That's right.
And I tripped out, bro. I tripped out how much hip hop there was and how much
Yeah.
people were doing it and where it was happening, because it was still kind of underground, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't in the mainstream nights, even though all the music was in the mainstream nights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when I remember the first time I saw Chris,
Yes.
was that video? He was like looking in the mirror, like he's in the mirror.
Yes.
And I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, Chris. And then next thing you know, you guys are battling. And then there's the angry locals. And I'm like,
Yes.
what is going on? I'm like, I was
Angry
so happy
Locals.
because I'm like, you know, what makes me most happy when I see my friends, you know, speaking something and then actually letting it becoming, right?
Yes.
So it was like, man, so tell me how that journey started, like hip hop,
Wow.
right?
Yes, it was just like trying to be at all the places that you could rap at and be at.
Right.
And then at one point, we started ciphering under the bridge in Salt Lake, and that went for like almost 3 years, bro.
Which is the bridge by
Ice Palace kind
Ice
of.
Palace.
Yes.
Ah, that bridge. Okay,
Yes.
jeez.
Every Sunday, bro. Anyone that like rapped, military was coming, like
That makes sense.
local
right there
boys
too.
from all the sides, we would all converge.
Right, because everybody's there, right? Military's right there. West Side, close enough for
Yes.
them to get there. Everybody from town
Yup.
would be there. Everybody kind of get there about like 15 minutes,
Yes,
right?
bro. And it was
Oh,
close.
that's smart.
And
Yeah.
it was all love, bro. And cops would let us rock out, bro. Someone would use their speakers. Sometimes it was me. Sometimes it was someone else. Pop in a CD of instrumentals, and we just go. And then like, there was so much people at a point we would just start doing mini battles, like tag team battles
Right,
or
see?
like subject battles, just having fun with the craft, because that's what we were showing up for, the love
Right.
of the practice.
Right? No, that makes sense because, you know, everything starts off in small communities, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, because you couldn't just go, like, especially early hip hop, right? Like, when I think Hawaii, I think, you know, Sudden Rush, right? I remember the first time I heard them was my brother was on their Kue album.
No
my brother
way.
was like a Hawaiian hip hop. He did like the, you know, like how
Oh,
you know how
yes.
hip hop music
The
would have like the
interludes.
interludes, right?
Yes.
So my brother was part of the and I'm like, what is this? And I remember being like, you know, at the time, like we don't know the language as much, and you're like,
Yes.
they're rapping and they're really rapping about like,
And it's Olelo.
yeah, Olelo, and
What
you don't know what they're saying, but you're like, dude, they're spitting like crazy fire, and then you understand later on, like you look at the lyrics and like, oh, that's some heavy stuff. So you know,
Shout
like,
out to Sudden Rush.
right, they were the groundbreaker, kind of one of the groundbreakers, right? You know,
Absolutely, bro.
in Hawaii,
Yes.
and then so like, you know, hip hop even at that time, if you did hip hop, it's kind of like
Right.
what do we place you guys? What do we do with you
Right,
guys?
right. Is it the same as reggae, right? The way that reggae got so easily embraced and rebranded to Hawaiian.
Yeah,
Hawaii hip hop, you know, or Hawaiians doing hip hop,
yeah.
or people in Hawaii that do hip hop didn't get like a quick
A quick,
embrace.
yeah, it's like anything, right? So you guys needed the small communities to like lean on each other and like
Yeah.
grow. Because if you guys didn't have that community, everybody would just kind of stay in their corner. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
man, that's so cool. I wish I knew that, man. Like, you guys are I would have just came and just like,
Bro, it was so cool, bro.
I wouldn't rap, but I would just be enjoying it because just seeing everybody just kind of going at each other
Mm-hmm.
and like, but out of love, right? Like everybody sharpening each other's iron and just like
Yes.
battling all the time. That must have been so much fun.
Bro, it was so cool. And we had like any like MCs that were doing shows in town that were around during that weekend, they would come to the cypher. Like we had some super dope heads come through that, bro.
Like all the town people would just come
Yeah.
down to, wow, that's so crazy.
Hip hop, bro.
Yeah, no, it's the best reflection of where you at as a community. Like that's why when I always think about hip hop, I always think about like being able to voice your true feelings. Because especially early on, because you know nobody was listening, you had to. Right? Like you guys had no filter, really. Nobody telling you guys what you guys can and cannot do, right? So you guys just
Yeah.
spitting and trying stuff, right? It's clashing,
Bro, the
clashing.
threshold for participating
Yeah.
is being yourself.
Yeah.
Right? There's no, if you can spin on your head, if you can rhyme some words, if you have some equipment, right? Or you love music like
Right.
that, where you can blend and mix, like if you can draw and
Oh.
mix, you love that visual, you can be a part of the culture through any of these avenues, bro.
Right.
And that's what they say the fifth element is community.
No.
Like what can you bring together because of what the practice is lending
Right.
to you?
No, like I truly believe like hip hop is like a community because, you know, when you always talk, everybody ask about like, you know, music, right? Not everybody can play an instrument, but I feel like anybody can create sound. And with hip hop, if you just have a sound,
Boom. And there's notes.
you can be a part of it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like if I start doing that, oh no, that doesn't quite work with, you know, playing an instrument. But
it goes all the way down to the heartbeat.
Yeah. So you can do that, and then next thing you know, you're like, oh, if I can do that, I can go home and make a beat. I might not be the freshest rapper or whatever, but I can go and create a beat, and maybe they'll be able to sing over it, right? Or rap over it.
Yes.
And then that's how everybody can get involved, and that's what I appreciate about hip hop, right? Like anybody can go home and like make a beat, and it might be whack in the beginning, like anything else, but you can contribute.
Yes.
Where like, you know,
yes.
like if you're in a band, like if you cannot play, like what you gonna do, right? Right.
Grab us water.
Right. Yeah.
You
and
don't
then
know how to read notes, bro. Beat it. Everyone in here is reading notes, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like you don't know how to when even the warm-ups, bro, can be intimidating to participate.
Right. Or like the first day you come in, everybody buzzing into like 4-part harmony. I'm like,
and then they're using numbers instead of saying chords. Like what? This threshold to participate, hip hop allowed me to approach a mastery to music.
Yeah.
That applying myself to the practice of rapping is how I was able to access what I think I feel and describe when I'm doing music with other musicians.
Yeah, you can jump in. You can just jump in and get involved. And then, you know, like anything, right? Everybody can jump in, but there's always going to be people that separate themselves. But that doesn't mean like you can't be involved. And that's why I think that's why when hip hop is thriving, you notice the music industry is just like growing because anybody, you know, like any race, any like hip hop can play in any genre, as long as there's a beat.
Yeah. Just come correct.
You can come correct, right?
Like authentic.
Yeah, because you can have a rock beat and you can come on and rap it. You can have a country beat, you can come on and rap it. As long as there's a heartbeat, you know, you can rap on it. And that's what I love about hip hop. And
it's become that extra.
Right?
So like going back to Sudden Rush, bro.
Right?
Imagine like breaking that ground of being authentically yourself. You're not just using the language, your native tongue, you know what I mean? But you're applying yourself to the culture in such a, bro, they were sharp MCs, bro.
Yeah, dude.
They weren't, we're not talking about like they were just chanting words that they learned.
No, they were
you
MCs,
can tell
man.
that they understood the language in a deep way.
Yeah.
So they were able to apply it to the discipline of rap in a deep way.
And whenever you introduce something new, you gotta make sure you know both sides.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's kind of like if they just came from that side, but they never know the hip hop history, the hip hop community wouldn't have accepted it. And then the Hawaiian community wouldn't if they were like, weren't speakers of it, right? So it's like the more you try to introduce something, the more you gotta come correct, and the more you gotta know your knowledge and know your history and know it. Like I guarantee you talk to any of them, they can tell you the MCs that they looked up to, you know, and like they all had an epiphany. Oh, we speak the language.
And that's as it should be, bro.
Right?
You're not a resource yet until you know.
Yeah, until you know.
The experience of discovering it with others, applying yourself to the craft, all of that comes as you're passionate about doing it, bro. That's a trip. But big up to Sudden Rush.
Sudden Rush, yeah,
Paved
exactly.
the way and like continue to. They got new jams that are killing it. I do think like Angry Locals, me not growing up here, right?
Right.
Came here 7th grade, Waipahu, then Dole. I didn't know Southern Rush. I didn't grow up with it.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But growing up and seeing them perform live was my first exposure. And they're already rapping with live music and live band.
Yeah, live bands,
I'm like,
right?
oh, bro, it's blowing my mind.
No.
Bro. I definitely can participate in rap once I saw that.
Yeah, they make it possible. Like it's just like with Eminem, right?
Mm-hmm.
What Eminem did for like, Guarantee for You, right?
Mm-hmm.
As
Yeah,
I can
say mine.
Yeah, I can say mine, right? You can have the voice and you can portray what you went through, you know,
Bro.
and that's the power of hip hop, right? Like you can,
Yes.
and in music in general, not just hip hop. Like people always underestimate that you have a voice, use that voice, and you gotta find that voice.
Yeah.
You know, like
I think of music like the sun and like water.
Mhm.
They just exist for you to partake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everyone wants to have their
Yes.
but it's all been saying every note. There's only so many keys on a piano.
Yeah.
Right? There's even only so many colors you can paint with.
Mhm.
Right? There's a limit, but it's infinite in how each person gets to navigate with it.
Yeah.
And there'll never be someone like you, bro.
Yeah, there never will be. Like they'll hear it. Like no, they'll hear your influences by, you know, what you study and what you figure out as a musician. But then you'll always have something of your own.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what, because you're a blend of. Like say if I ever became a hip hop artist, right, you would hear my influences. You would hear.
Wait, you're not a hip hop artist?
No.
Yeah, what?
I just make art.
Yes,
I
it's all
make art.
part of it. We
You know,
don't
like,
rap on one.
I've touched.
Me and Mike got a rap tape coming out. It's called the Paola tapes. That's gonna be the first one.
No, but I kind of like if you listen to my first and second album, like I kind of touched on it. Like there's a song Left on the Side where I'm kind of later on you're gonna call me. You know how I feel. I won't pick up. I won't come back. Like kind of paying tribute to it because people don't realize that my brother Arnold, that passed away when he was 18, right? He used to be a part of a hip hop group, dance hip hop group, where they used to break dance, but they used to rap, like Run DMC style, right? At TMT, with him, Pacho, Don, Andrew Scanlon, Mikey Dim's brother, they all were rappers. So I grew up, listening to their cassette tapes of like their tapes of them freestyling over like LL Cool J and all these like that time rappers. So it'll be fake if I don't show that part of me, right?
It's in
like
there.
It's in there. Yeah. Like I love, recreating beats. Like I did that my whole life. Like now that I think about it, like me and my cousin Chris would just like, the old cassette tapes where you had to let the thing play, but then you press the hold, you play and record, and then and if there's a little speaker, you could rap or sing over like a little recorder. So we would always just try to like make the lamest raps, but it was fun, right? Like that's what, like, like there's no wrong when you're learning, right? It's just learning. So I would always like dabble in that kind of stuff, but I found my niche, man. You asked me before this, like, oh, you wish you learned to play the keyboards first? I'm like, nah, I'm glad I learned what I learned first, and it was the guitar and playing that instrument because it gave me my sound.
Yes.
Because if I learned the piano, I would have had a completely different sound. So, don't call me a hip hop artist. I sprinkle.
We still can, bro.
I sprinkle on it. No, I have fun with it. I got something for them pretty soon.
Yeah. Let's go, bro.
But yeah, so
it's gonna be in everything you create.
Yes.
Right? And it's making me think that as it should be. When you create, what's in you should be out there.
Yeah.
And if it's not in you, that's gonna be obvious too. At least in hip hop it is.
Well, if the song takes you there, go there. Right? Like, so like that song, it took me there to like kind of flow that way, right? And I was just like, I don't know how it's gonna come out, but it took me there, so I gotta trust that it's what is supposed to happen, right? So if another song comes up and I get a beat and it starts taking me there, then we're gonna go there. Like I don't, you know, I'm not claiming to be an artist, but you can't say I'm not a fan of hip hop.
Right.
So I'm gonna do it.
Yes.
You know, I'm
Gonna
not gonna,
do
but
it.
you're not gonna see me show up to no MC battles. I ain't going up with this guy. Is he crazy?
Bro, we're trying to bring them back, by the way. We're trying to bring back on beat battles.
Oh, they
There's
should.
a lot of acapella, but lately some of the acapella leagues have been doing on beat battles. So we're trying to bring that back, bro.
No, you should.
That vibe is still the best.
Right? No, I truly believe that's how you find yourself as an artist. When you get put in situations where you gotta react. I always talk about that. If you don't put yourself in situations where you gotta react, you start editing and then you start thinking you're supposed to be something that you're not. But when you react, it's usually what you feel and what, like, you know, we talked about it last week, right? You gotta trust your instincts and you gotta trust yourself, and then that's when you find yourself. Because if you don't trust yourself, you're never gonna find yourself. You're just gonna be that little boy in the corner that's always gonna think nobody likes what I do, nobody hears me, nobody understands me. Is because you're not.
Well, that's where like doing it together with people, and I can be honest with that, bro. With Angry Locals, if it weren't for Styles and Oast, like I didn't put out much music just as Big Mox by myself. There's like one mixtape, 32 songs.
I was no Casanova.
Oh, bro, Ruckus days, bro. That was before Angry Locals too.
Yeah.
But like doing that with my friends and making rap songs together was how I was happy to be out there, bro. Because that's when you start feeling more safe with your own decisions, when your friends are like,
Right? And they're like, yeah,
give them.
yeah. And they're like behind you, like, yeah, that's fire. Like that's fire. Pushing each other, right? Like that's how you find that. You find yourself when you try things and then people are like, oh, yeah, oh really? That was dope?
Yeah.
Oh, that was dope. All right, cool. Like you just keep moving forward, right? So like you need that, like, and like I said, that it started off as you guys, battle rapping against each other, and then you guys became this, bunch of angry guys after
Angry
that.
rap
Look like
group,
Angry
bro.
Birds.
We get a new one out too. It's called Rebel. We ended up at the radio station randomly together, and we hadn't seen each other for at least the rest of this year. So Osna decided to drop a song.
There you go, see?
But it was one of our freestyles that we did.
When did he drop? Just recently?
Yeah, I want to say maybe last week or last.
That's so funny because I was talking about you guys
Yes.
just drop it.
Just
Drop
drop 'em,
it, and you guys happen to see each other. No, it's destined, man. You're supposed to, that song's supposed to come out.
Yes.
It's supposed to come out.
We get more.
I'm excited. Get them out. Get them out.
Get them out.
We need more Angry Locals.
Let them fly.
We need more